Guys, you're all live.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Salutations.
Never mind. No, do you know where, I mean, not where that word comes from, but do you remember Charlotte's Web? Did you all have to read that?
I'm pretty sure I have that VHS tape somewhere in my closet.
A VHS tape, really?
Something like the,
Really?
the thick ones, yeah.
No, the thick
I
ones.
have the Cinderella.
I can't right now.
No,
Anyway, so that was the first thing that the pig said
Oh.
in Charlotte's story. Charlotte's Web.
I know Charlotte's Web, and the spider and the...
Yes,
Yeah.
and the pig said salutations.
Oh, okay.
Just
I was thinking like Star Trek.
useless tidbit information. Go ahead. Go ahead, I'm with you. So, welcome to Let's Talk About It. You know, it's only been a week, but it feels like with daylight savings and that it's bright and light outside that,
Like ages since I've seen you guys.
I know, it's been like ages, so definitely.
So let's see, our intro, or our opening for today,
What do you have?
a little,
I
something.
know our guest is logging in, so go ahead. What do you have? Are you going to sing?
I am.
No, don't sing.
Wah, wah, wah. Okay.
Don't sing. So we might be saved.
I want to rock right now.
Okay.
My name's Sam. I can get down.
I
I'm
can't.
not internationally known, but when I'm known, like, it's stupid. I'm outrageous. Stay away from me if you're contagious. Because I'm not a loser. To be a co-host is what I choose.
Oh, that was good. Was that right off the
So
hip?
I was like, wow. Right.
Godfrey, welcome.
Welcome.
So while you're getting situated, I wanted to share with you that I left a big job in the city, working for the men every night and day. Never did I lose a minute of sleep wondering about the way that things might have been. Well, big wheels keep on rolling. Godfrey, welcome. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
Very good to see you again and to see
Yes.
the young prince, the young king.
Nice
Good to
meeting
meet you, young one.
Nice meeting you.
You're gonna ask what you.
Before we start off, I didn't know like how I should call you. Is there Mr. Godfrey? However,
Godfrey, Gullah JaC, whatever feels good to your spirit.
okay,
I'm also with all, but not Mr. Godfrey. I don't want that.
okay.
I appreciate the
I was
courtesy.
just about to say, as long as there's a Mister in front of it, but okay, if you agree with it, then I'm okay with it.
I appreciate the courtesy and the manners. Mama doing her work, boy. Mama putting her work in for real.
It ain't
Thank
easy.
you.
It ain't easy. Let me just go on and say that right off the bat. It ain't easy.
That's right. I know it. I know that's right.
Well, welcome to Let's Talk About It. And this is just what we do. Every week we come and we started doing this in August.
Yeah.
We started doing this in August just as a way to kind of have some open conversations about different social events, things happening in the world from a multi-generational approach. And, low-key, it's my way to figure out what's going on in his world, because otherwise I wouldn't know. So if I put a camera in front of them, this generation here, if you put a camera in front of them, you can find out everything that they're thinking. So just thought I'd put that out there for anyone that's wondering what their teenager.
Don't go for it.
Oh, you guys are stronger than that.
You can do better.
If you know better, do better, okay? If you know better, do better. So anyway.
I want to find you on this Facebook that you had set up.
Okay.
How do I get there? Do I go to your?
Let's see. I think you can go to The Voice 17104, and I think what I have to do is go to. Do you mean the event?
Yes.
Because it's also on my page. I'm sharing it on my page under Wende Washington No Chirianye, and let's see. Minister Chris Thomas, engineer extraordinaire.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How do we get Godfrey on
To see the live production, you mean?
Yes, or to share. So Godfrey, is this so you can share it?
Sure, yes, sir. If you want to go to our fan page on Facebook, if you just type in The Voice 17104, my brother, you'll see it there at the top of the newsfeed there, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Got it, sir.
The Voice, VOIC, Voice. And what was it?
17104, yes, sir.
There we go.
And while we're getting that set up, we have Tony Harris joining us from Buffalo, New York. Tony, welcome.
Wow.
Welcome. And I'm sure that Randy Massey will be joining us shortly. My mom was here for a couple of weeks, and the house doesn't feel the same with her not here. So we're waiting. We'll see when Mom pops on with us. Were you able to get on, Godfrey?
Yes, I found it. Found us.
Okay, good.
Thank you, sir. He was amazing. That felt like a Morpheus situation.
That's what.
I know that's right. So, how was your week, Taff?
My week, it's been pretty good. I'm trying to think. I don't think I did anything too out of the extraordinary this week.
Out of extraordinary. Brother gets one job. You only had one job, and you feel like you just saving.
I work.
One time you say, "Thank you for stopping by. How can I take your order?" And you think that you just okay.
Anyway, yeah, it's been a pretty good week. We took Graham home.
Yes.
That was
your week?
That was
You didn't even drive, Kath. I drove.
I offered in my dreams.
In your dream. And that's what it was, in your dreams. So we drove, we meet halfway to drop my mother off. My brother drives up from South Carolina. It's not quite halfway for him. So Bill, you're getting off. But the place that we stop at, and we've said this over and over again, has the best fried chicken liver ever.
And like no one within 60 miles tells them.
Yeah, she did tell us that yesterday. But it was good. And as soon as we're done here, I'll be going to eat the rest of mine. At any rate, so it's a 5 hour down, 5 hour back. Interestingly, so I realized we left listening to Smokey Norfolk's old school prayer. So we left, gospel music and, so we basically left listening to Leandria Johnson's. And then we came back, head bobbing, and we were shouting dancing. So, it was a whole party. DJ Chris Williams, thank you for joining. He said, Taff, you can come and pick me up. Laugh out loud. Emphasis on the laugh out loud, DJ Chris. Randy Massey, mom in Rock Hill, South Carolina. You could still be here. You know how she did before, how she was like, hey, everybody. So, Mr. Godfrey, how was your week? You're the big guy doing all the work and doing all the stuff. How was your week?
My week was very interesting and exciting. Exciting week.
Okay. We're going to get into that. And I cannot imagine that you would have a week that's not exciting with all that, with all that you do. I could not imagine that. Like, that just seems like it would just be really, really cool to do.
A lot of energy, chi, a lot of Geechee, a lot of chi.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's ready too. We've got our Bibles, we got our pen, we got our paper. We are ready. We follow directions. Yes. So I do want to go through your bio, but there was something that I wanted to really quick. Kat and I, we have these deep conversations, and we were talking about yesterday driving back from Virginia. We were talking about the terrible incident in Atlanta where the man went in and went to the spas and killed, was it 6 people?
6 or 8.
6, okay. We should know that. Shame on us. And so Taft had this theory, and he was talking about justice. And he was saying that, what did you say about it, Taft?
I said that everybody has their own different justice, like, and their own different version of justice and their own different version of what's fair. I think I do. Like, and then I referenced last week's show, we talked about how Derek Chauvin, the guy that killed George Floyd, how some people were saying since his family, George Floyd's family got the settlement, Derek didn't have to go to jail. Some were saying that no, money's just money, doesn't change what he did, he still needs to atone for his actions. Some people thought that the settlement was justice enough. Other people, didn't think so. I think different, I don't know, that just kind of...
That's what, well, I mean, that's what you were, so my take on that, and Godfrey, we certainly want to hear what you think about it, but I don't think, and I said this, I don't believe that justice is subjective. Justice is justice. There's no way, like, there are some things, like in my example was, if I tell a joke, Godfrey might think it's funny and you may not. Both of you could be right because that's subjective. Humor is subjective. Justice is not. It's either fair or it's not. Mr. Godfrey?
That's right. That's right. It's either right or wrong. For every action, there's a perfect and equal opposite reaction for every action. And if you kill somebody, money does not make it right.
Right.
Money does not bring that back. Now, you can say everyone has a price. That's just buying your soul. But that has nothing to do with justice. Let's be clear now, especially our people, when it comes to justice. It's just us that gets beaten by the law. And it's all right. No, not no more. Not no more. Oh, no.
Let me write that down. That was deep. That was deep. He took us there. So Taft gave me a scenario. Taft likes to give what do you call these things you do? I don't know, but he always has like a scenario. So give your scenario.
Okay. So it was,
wait, and you made this up as we were talking. He just makes them up as he goes along. Go ahead.
So you're in line to get some coffee, right? And you're really not that interested in the coffee. You're just like, yeah, like you'll be perfectly fine if you don't have that coffee. So behind you, there is a pregnant woman. There is an elderly lady. There is an intern that if they don't get this coffee for their boss quick, they're gonna get fired. And then there's someone that's late to their first job interview. Who would you choose, if at all? Who would you choose to come, and take your place in line and get their coffee? And I was saying that different people would have different, that's what I was kind of using for the people have their different ideas of what's fair and different ideas of justice. Some people might think that the pregnant lady deserves to take the line and get her coffee first. Others might say, well, somebody has a job and their job is, relying on this coffee, they deserve that. That would be the fair thing to do. So that's kind of where
I said, first off, is my mother in that line?
Right.
Second, are you in that line? But I think what makes it justice or fair if someone goes ahead of me is if I choose to allow someone to go ahead of me. If I say, now, if there's 10 people behind me, we've all been in line for an hour. Now, if I say to number 10, come and get in front of me, and I make myself number 2, well, that's not fair to the others.
Right.
But if I say to number 10, hey, you come here and I'll go be number 10, then all that is we've swapped places, but I chose to do that. Don't make me number 10 without my permission and without asking me and without allowing me to choose to put myself in that place in line. That to me is justice. Then you enter in your analogy, you enter into respect. So I'm always going to give my spot to someone who's elderly. I feel like they deserve that. They've earned that right. They've paid the price to be in line ahead of me. However, not everybody, not everybody is going to get to skip in line.
Right.
That's not any thoughts on that, Godfrey?
So we all have our own opinions, on feelings on which way is right. But our Father says that his thoughts are not like our thoughts. And it's not about what we think. It's not about what we believe. It's about what we know. So when you make these choices, you had better make sure that it is in line with your Father, because he already laid it out, what is right and what is wrong. And we have decided to supersede him, and we are going to decide what's right. And the things that usually we decide is right is what he said, hell no.
Okay.
16, but you a big boy now.
You try that.
I'm trying to maintain.
Yeah, try how it sounds. Try it. Go ahead. Try it. Yeah, it's been nice knowing you. Real quick before we move forward, Delanor Young, thank you for joining us. Hey, Aunt Del. Delanor, Reverend Dr. David T. Miller from Wesley Union AME Zion Church, the church making an impact in the community, says our top fan is on. He said, I choose Jesus. I know that's right.
Yeah,
Then he said, go ahead, Aretha. For me. So listen, I have been excited. As everybody knows, 2 weeks ago, I went on vacation, a little ladies trip, a little getaway. And we decided we wanted to do one of the tours in Charleston. So we went through, and there was a line, using Taft's analogy, there was a line, and I had to choose who would go first. And we saw Godfrey, Gullah Geechee Tours with Godfrey. And we read the reviews, but there was just something about it that we chose this one. And so I have not been the same since. That's honest. I have not been the same since. I've been reading, and we're going to get into it, but I've been reading your book, Old Fashioned Screen Sharing. I am just amazed. And so then, in talking to you, it was almost like being on the tour again. And even as you're talking and sharing right now, it's I'm just waiting for you to pull up some pictures on the screen and show it, and then point over there. And then we've been using your line, Delanor and I have been using your line. Once you see it, you can never not see it again. Once you see it, you can never not see it again. So you made an impact. But I want to share a little bit about you, if I may, and then you can share and kind of take the conversation wherever it takes us. And Taft and I do have some questions for you as well, but we'll let you come and share with us. Before I start, hi, Carol Bullock. Hey, Wende and Taft, keep up the great work. Thank you, and thank you for joining. So Gullah JaC is a vetted historian and a licensed certified tour guide in the city of Charleston. He was born in South River, New Jersey, the Garden State, Garden of Eden, where doctors guaranteed he would not survive within hours of his birth. Raised by his grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Jefferson, he is the only Gullah Geechee historian to teach on the Gullah teachings of Christ the Messiah and the secret heritage of his lost, mysterious people. Gullah bred and raised in the deep Charleston-rooted Gullah Geechee heritage and spirit, he attended Morris Brown Church in downtown Charleston, Morris Brown College of Atlanta, Georgia, HBCU. Gullah JaC, a lead tour guide in Charleston, unburdens this discovery from his heart. And if you want the truth, then Gullah Geechee leads the journey into the truth that has been hidden under a firm force of religion and slavery. Oh my goodness. So it just, oh my goodness. I just, how you just full. I have like so much and so many questions. And as a curious person, I'm always ready. So tell us, as you said, connect the dots for us. Tell us, how did we get here? Connect the dots.
How did we get here? Well, our Father was showing off. God was showing off. He said, I'm going to write it down first. Then I'm going to tell it to you. And you're not going to believe me. And it's going to be and it's actually the truth. So there's a book, an old book that the prophets read called the Bible. And a lot of people don't even believe in the Bible. Ain't that some crazy stuff? But this book, but this Holy Bible, a long time ago, it said that those Egyptians who enslaved some Hebrew Israelites, Moses said, now listen, now that we're free, in the future, if you don't keep these commandments, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Verse 68. The code, now this is a coded book, but he said, in the future, if you don't keep these commandments, bad things are going to happen. If you choose to keep the commandments, you'll have the Midas touch. The Midas touch. Whatever you touch will be successful. It'll be glorious. Your marriage will flourish, your business will flourish, your families will flourish. Whatever you decide will be successful. But if you do not keep these laws, the law, if you do not keep the law of God, then these curses are going to overtake you. And then they said it would last 400 years. I mean, how we got here, he wrote a book and he left some breadcrumbs for some spiritual people to stumble upon. And look at this. And I found some people who've been chasing some breadcrumbs, connecting some dots, doing some amazing work. And God keeps showing up, man, please, man. You know how we got here.
So can I just tell how it started? On this tour, Delano and I were standing there, and Godfrey came out just talking, but right away there was an instant connections. And I don't meet strangers. But very seldom do I meet right off, my brother, just right off.
Right, spiritual.
So it was spiritual. So we started talking and we get on the bus, and then another couple gets or two ladies get on the bus, and then a couple gets on the bus, and he closes the van and he says, this is going to be good. And he starts talking, he's got.
It's all black.
Yes.
Full of black people.
Full of black.
Sometimes it's black and white, sometimes it's all white, sometimes it's all black. But this tour started off all black.
All black.
So, and we addressed that. Okay, so now all black people are about to have an amazing time. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, because you have the voice. You got the James Earl, so when you tell it, it's a little.
The James Earl voice.
You got the James Earl voice. Yes,
James
all black.
So the tour, we begin the tour, and it is going amazingly well. The spirit is there, and you can feel an energy, the Geechee, that people only talk about. So we're having a good time. And then 2 more people walk up. 2 more white people walk up. A white couple walk up, full tour. So, we look, no sweat. We open the door. And it was really 2 white people there. We came to take the tour and they were late. Check that out. It was that they were late. So I say, okay, welcome to the tour. Thank you for choosing, Gullah Geechee Tours. So how did you find me? How'd you find this tour? Because Charleston does not want you to take my tour. When you said you read the reviews, you didn't mention the bad reviews. They hate my tour, and they try to set me up, but it's spiritual. There's nothing they can do. You can't stop this. They have no idea. They can't even see this. So the white couple said something amazing. So I said, you know what? I want you to come on the bus. Come on the bus. And speak so that everyone could hear. So they got on the bus, took their seats all the way at the back, was the only seat left. And then they said that they were searching for the truth about the slave culture. The young man said he traveled the triangle slave trade, West Africa to the islands, Charleston. This triangle slave trade, a white man, tracing the steps of the slaves so that he could understand. See, we all learned the same lies and they're doing the same thing we're doing. We just want to know the truth about history.
Yes.
Why can't we know what our real name is? African American. Jesse Jackson made that up in 1989. And black is just a color. You can like it all you want, but it's a color. And it means without light. But he was doing the same thing, trying to connect some dots. And he said that his wife found an article that she read in the New York Times.
In the New York Times, yes.
Well, I don't read the New York Times. I was just surprised to hear the name. And I guess a lot of black people don't read it either, but New York Times is talking about Gullah Geechee, Godfrey, Gullah JaC. Charleston don't talk about Gullah JaC. The city papers, the Post and Courier, the #1 newspaper, during slavery, the Post and Courier was always the one that controlled the propaganda, yellow journalism, the lies. We're not going to talk about the truth. We will only glorify the lies. And then nothing has changed. But these white people came and said they wanted to know the truth about slavery. And they came to Charleston, to Gullah Geechee tours, to Godfrey, Gullah JaC, to hear what really happened to us.
Yes, and they did, and they participated. They were not spectators. They were right. They were right there with us, asking questions, contributing. They were in it. They were in it. In fact, so much so that Owen and Tinley will be our guests next week, because in addition to traveling the triangle trade, traveling and learning, they had lived in Madagascar, not visited. They didn't say we just went on vacation. They lived in Ghana, I believe, Madagascar, Haiti, and then they went to the Justice Center in Alabama, and stayed for a while. And I guess with COVID, they came back and
learn French, learn to speak the language.
Yes. So they will be on next week. So I hope you'll come back.
Wow, absolutely.
Join with us. Before we move on, I do want to say hello to author Sandy from McCullough. Sandy, one of my most favorite cousins. Bruce Johnson says, my brother Godfrey. Sandy says, look at God. Look at God.
Bruce Johnson?
Yes, Bruce Johnson. Yes, Bruce D. Johnson said, my brother Godfrey. So I'm just, one of the things that you said on the tour, is, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can tell us a little bit about it. I think you said something like, and it's also in your book, that there's 1,000 certified tour guides.
Oh, yes.
And then you also told us a little bit about how you have the test or something that you have to take. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Wow. So Charleston is the #1 city in the world for tourism. But tourism is a code name. It's a symbol. It's a code name for history. But our history, Charleston's history, is nothing but slavery. The only history that we have to offer the world is slavery. And we camouflage that history by calling it the Civil War or Revolutionary War, or they may even call it lawn and gardening, but we know who planted the gardens, and we understand that the Civil War was truly only about keeping slaves. So Charleston, the #1 city in the world for slave history, for slavery. If you want to be a tour guide, you have to take a test. They had a certification that was mandatory. It's not mandatory today, because I brought some lawyers in and we took the city to court in the federal courthouse and won.
Wow.
But over 1,000 certified tour guides, 3 of us have our own business that are Black. And I'm the only true Gullah Geechee, the only one from Charleston. I grew up on the slave auction market, and the other 2 guys, the other 2 boyfriends, they are partners. They maintain the lie. They choose to omit the truth in order to keep masses, plantation services flowing by the billions, multi-billions of dollars. See, the truth about us is not allowed. Charleston does not want you to know the truth. And John C. Calhoun and the British, they said, under the law, and the way I'm saying the law is important because the truth about Gullah is the law. But under the law, you could not know your true history, your true name, your true language. Under the law, you could not know this information. So today, still today, Charleston controls our history to the tune of many, many billions of dollars. No black tour guides, only white tour guides that are not from Charleston by the majority. And they have 3 scripts that they memorize. And they're entertainers. The truth does not matter. The truth does not matter to Charleston's wealthiest people in the world, and our slave plantations never closed down.
Wow.
I don't know what to see. And this happened on the tour. He does that and he says, and then you're left with your thoughts. Like, what do I say? How do I fix it? What do we do? What do we do? Before you go on, I want to say hello to Dred Scott. He said, keep digging, the truth will be revealed. Reverend Dred Scott. Let's see. Roz White. Roz White asked about your book, and we will go into your book, but it is called Gullah Geechee, The Blooded Route to Charleston Slave Trade and Redemption. And we will go into your book. So take us where you'd like to take us. Tell us how all this starts. Where do we go? What do we do? So we're on your tour right now. We are sitting on the van. By the way, it's air conditioned. It is a beautiful van, very clean.
Mercedes-Benz. Go ahead.
Excuse me, Mercedes.
The only one.
The only one is a Mercedes van, and you would know it not only by the Mercedes sign, okay, but also just by the wonderful logo on the side, customer service, everything was top notch. So we are now sitting on your van. Where do you take us? You have the audience captive. We are ready for the tour to start. Where do you take us?
So Charleston was only created for one reason. Once we understand that, then we can kind of see the city a little bit better. And perspective is key. Perspective is very important. And we need to understand that everything that we think that we understand, we learned it from our slave masters. The people who enslaved us are the people who educate us today. What sense does that make? So when you ask the simple question, like, what is your name? What nation do you hail from? The question is, what is your nation? What's your nationality? We struggle there. We get stuck. How? We are the geniuses, the most intelligent people. We don't know what our name is, and we don't even care. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. When God tells you that you are the people that you don't even know where you are. You don't know where your home is. You don't know where you're from, and you don't even care to know. We are those people. So this city was only created to break and sell slaves, and not just anybody, not just anybody. It was a certain people, a nation that had a special blood. The blood was very important. During malaria season, only these people could survive during malaria. Only a certain people. And in the movie that we all saw, we saw Shaka Zulu, and at the very beginning of Shaka Zulu, they told you who we really are. They told you your real name, but we're so without light, so black, without knowledge and information. We're so deep into our blackness that when we hear our names, we don't even know it. Wow. So again, created to sell slaves, okay? 4 buildings, churches. We got more churches than Rome. Amazing. Religion. I'm sorry, forgive me. We have churches, liquor taverns, bordellos, and barracoons. Now, a barracoon is a Portuguese term for a slave jail. Barracoon. Portuguese term for a slave jail. Today, they call it a warehouse. Gigantic buildings where you store your property, your products is where they're stored, in the warehouse. But in this barracoon, and we are the magicians, the people of real spells, God spells now, gospels. But if you spell the word barracoon, B-A-R-R, bar, a coon,
Right.
damn. The biggest buildings, you see them, giant, beautiful, the most beautiful buildings were only used to slaughter God's favorite people. Deuteronomy 7:6, his favorite people, his holy people. 400 years, he said, get away from my home, get away from me, don't call my name. You're going to forget I'm going to take your name away from you for 400 years. Genesis 15:13, Acts chapter 7, verse 6. 400 years started in 1619, August 21, Virginia, Point Comfort. 1619 plus 400 is 2019. This is the city that was only created by the British to break and sell God's holy people.
Wow. Oh,
Wow.
Now we about to wake up. We taking it all black. It's our time. 400 years is up. Get ready. It's been hell all this time. It was always difficult, but that's where the strength comes from. That's where the purification comes from. That's where the power, the beauty, the shine. Man, please, God is not playing Geechee. We are the spirit, the blood, the law, Gullah, the kindred to God, to Christ, Yahweh Shai, Yeshi, boy, man, please, man. The truth is amazing because we the truth. It's all about them Gullah Geechee people, but we can't know it. You can't know who you are. You can't know what your name is. You can't know who your father is. Who is your mama? Who is your stepmama? You don't even know that Hansel and Gretel, they're talking about you. JaC and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, holy knowledge, so God can whisper and talk to his holy people. But when JaC got so arrogant, all of that power he gave you, all of that beauty he gave you, all of the love he gave you, when you got too arrogant and confident, he said, I'm going to take you down now. So JaC fell down so hard that he broke his crown. Oh, wait a minute. He had a crown on his head? He used to one time, a long time ago. He was a king. But when you fall that hard and your queen come tumbling right behind you, and you hit your head so hard you break your crown, listen, a crown is like a helmet, a golden, glorified helmet. But if you fall that hard to break your crown, you're going to have amnesia. You ain't going to remember nothing. Your whole brain, your memory going to be white, black. Oh, my goodness. Wait. Where your land? What's your land? What's your God name? What's your language? What food you supposed to eat? Man, look here. Why you sag your pants? Huh? Why we don't stay married? Why our business always failing? Deuteronomy chapter 28, Daniel chapter 7. Listen, that whole book will answer all of your questions. You can't ask no question that can't be answered if you even care. We them people. Gullah Geechee boy, for real, the holy city. Now we waking up. Sleeping Beauty, time to wake up. Ooh.
You're on a roll. You're on a roll.
True.
Wow.
This is the way we were on the tour, where there were times when it was just silent.
Mm-hmm.
And not for lack of information, not for lack of interest, but just one of those things. And even now, I'm still like, oh, he did say that. I do remember he said that. Tina Washington Abubakar is watching from Buffalo, New York. She said, yes, speak truth. Speak truth. Sandy McCullough said the blessings of enlightenment.
Hallelujah.
You were sharing, and as we were traveling down, down these streets, and we were not on the bus the whole time. We got off a couple of times and went to a couple of things. But as we were traveling and you were, pointing out things, I do want to say that the tour took its own route. I mean, you were able to share with us, but I think that maybe, I don't know if it was our questions. I got the feeling that yes, that you were led by the Spirit to take the tour where it needed to go.
We are one body. When we all come together, every tour is different. We all have the Gullah Geechee people, Geechee, the Chi. You have the spirit, the inner Chi, the Chi of Yah. Boy, look at Yah, Yahweh, of our God. So when we come together, whenever we come together and agree, our Father is there. And not only is he there, but those angels in the holy city, the real Israel holy city, Charleston, 33rd parallel, in the shape of a human heart. Don't nobody know about this? How we don't know about this? The number one city in the whole world. How we don't know about this? Only hidden from them people. We the number one city, who coming here? Not us. Black history is all we got to offer. Slavery, not us. The Spirit, our Father, who art in heaven. He spoke the words, he wrote the book. 400 years just ended. All of the ships, all of the slave ships brought the cargo of people, broken people, to this city just to break them, rape them, skin them alive. What? So that God can prove his point, punish his favorite children to show him how much he loves us. And now Gullah Geechee, redemption, our King, Geechee, Hosea 2:16, Yeshi, Hosea 2:16. There's some secrets up in there that can't nobody understand. Psalm 147, 19 and 20. Only JaC, only Jacob, he said, I only gave understanding, only vision. We the only seers, We the only ones. You have a dream. Hey, Bruce, if you have a dream about fish, we go right down to the number house. Now we go play with you. Man, listen, we interpret everything. Everything is a symbol. And then there's a number associated to everything. There's an etymology. There's always a code. We are the code readers, the code makers, and the code breakers. Now it's time to break the chain with the code 1353. Game over. Facts proving that this is the blood of Jesus Christ and our God. Gullah, kindred, ancient Hebrew for redemption. Game over. We done people, it's our time. No more can you deny the truth. Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen. Well,
yeah.
Well, yeah, he said all of that. He said that. You mentioned, and then I know Taft had some questions, but you mentioned on the tour, you talked about the number 33. Mm-hmm. Can you share a little bit about 33?
So in your spinal cord, this goes in any direction. See, we are those people. We're the symbol readers. Everything about us, our Father is showing off through us. Okay, so 33 spinal cords, 33 vertebrae in your spinal cords leading up to the temple of King Solomon, the pineal gland. Charleston is located on the 33rd latitude line. This is that holy city, perfectly opposite the holy city. There's only two, Jerusalem and Charleston. In the Our Father prayer, Christ was giving a secret, how to communicate and how to see and understand. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The kingdom of heaven comes on earth. As above, so below. Every action has a perfect and equal opposite reaction. That is Galah. That is the law. Galah, the law. Every action has a perfect and equal opposite reaction. So Jerusalem, the 33rd parallel. Christ died at 33 years old. Charleston, the perfect opposite, 33rd parallel, where we know, what some of us know, that the Masons set up And the big dragon is on Brittlebank Park. The big red dragon, Revelations chapter 12, waiting to devour the kids. Read that chapter with understanding now. Don't just read it. And understanding is not for everyone. This is that city located on the 33rd parallel, the most spiritually significant, sensitive energy. The earth and humans have a symbiotic relationship. Whatever the earth has, humans have. The earth has pressure points. Humans have pressure points. The most significant energetic pressure point, spirituality, is on its most highest tuned in level, where the slaves sung in ancient Hebrew, Kumbaya, my Lord, to the chariots, to the UFOs. Man, look, y'all. Ashleyville, the beginning of America, where Charleston landing on the complete opposite, Ashleyville, where I come from, our neighborhood, the beginning of it all now, on the waters, chariots. My grandparents, my families, in the front of the house, they would, man, please. The stuff that people say is not real, we are those Gullah Geechee people, we live those lives. When you say ghosts and spirits aren't real, we are the people that talk to them and see them, and if we see, we know what number to play, that we're gonna win some money. This is our real life that you don't hear about because we struggle with articulating our feelings and the expressions and our pains and our hurts. So our language is misconstrued, and our energy is always misinterpreted as being angry and mean. Well, this is a God that's waking up. That's what's happening. And it's a slow process, but trust me, you're going to get it. You're going to see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the 33rd parallel is the most significant location, this holy city, in the shape of a human heart, the most significant location. And Charleston is now on its 11th year in a row. #1 city in the world, small cities, for tourism. Not 10 years. Corona was our 10th year anniversary. And now we're on our 11th year. #1 city in the world for slave history. The wealthiest city, the 4th largest city, but the #1 wealthiest city for all of Great Britain and America. And how? Because of their churches and slaves all taking place in the same building at the same time.
Okay. Taft? Taft had some questions for you as well. Taft.
Wow.
Now you want to act like you know our life.
So Taft, what do you, you got so much, man. So what you were doing earlier when you were saying, so you gave a scenario when we were standing in line and there's a pregnant woman, and an elderly woman. When you did, so that scenario that you did, angels are preparing you. So this is a gift. They're preparing you. When you do that, I had a friend who, his name was Robo, his name was Cordell Thompson in our neighborhood. This guy was a genius. He was he was extra special at every level. An amazing family, but this dude was extra special. And he died early. He was killed by the police killed him, and he predicted his death. He said, listen, if anybody says that I killed myself, they're lying. I'd never. He was an amazing person. And then they shot him in his head. But this guy he was an angel. The really special spiritual people aren't supposed to be here long. They're here to do a work and then move on. So the gift that you have, 16 years old, with this mind that you have, watch the movie Megamind on Disney.
Movie.
Say again?
Right. I love Megamind.
You love Megamind. So you know what? That interesting that you say that there's no such thing as coincidence. The name coincidence is just the word coincidence is just one of the names for Lucifer's demons. Now, when that spirit shows up, that energy that you feel that says that's a coincidence. No, understand that our God is a jealous God now. We give him all of the glory. He's a very terrible God now. He don't play no game. When he does his work, give him that honor. But anyway, the movie Megamind, it shows Adam falling at the very beginning. The black man, the blue man, or the green man, they're talking about you, okay? The melanin, the melanated skin, the hue. It shows in Megamind the black man falling from grace at the very beginning, representing Adam falling from grace. But if you remember in Megamind, it showed the little black baby, the parents in space representing God, speaking to the child in code, representing Illuminati, the light, Israel, the light. Well, he prepared his child, mom and daddy, put him in a rocket ship, sent him to the earth. And on his way to the earth, he was about to land in a super mansion house, a big, beautiful super mansion house. But at the last minute, another rocket ship came, and it had a little white baby in it. And it knocked the black little rocket ship baby into the jailhouse. And then the white baby landed into the mansion house. But the black boy in the jailhouse, interesting, he was a genius. He was a genius. And he was misunderstood. And then at the end, he understood what all of the struggle, what all of the pain, all of the hurt, and all of the brokenness was, what it was all about. That entire movie. See, whatever you see on Disneyland, they get it from Negro Land on the map. Emmanuel Bowen, the royal map maker. Negro Land is where they found the tribe of Judah, the blood of Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. When you watch Megamind again, it's going to look different. And you're going to see some things that most people never see. But they're talking about you, Young Money. They know who you are. But that gift, your superpowers is your knowledge, that brain, boy. You stay focused.
Thank you. Are you going to ask your dumbstruck? Your gift is your mind, but I'm just dumbstruck. Sandy said, I hate that I missed your tour on my last trip to Charleston back in September, but not the next time. So let me ask you this. What's coming up next? What are you working on? What do you have? Tell us about the tours. Tell us because we're like taking names. We're getting ready to put together this trip, this tour. We're going to do it. We're coming back in numbers, but what do you have going on? What are you working on?
Oh my goodness. So the Holy City, remember the 400-year curse just ended. And the people who enslaved us, they don't believe in our God like we do. And they can't understand the Bible like we can. So no sweat. So what's coming next? Our Father, our God is showing off. Charleston is the #1 city in the whole world for slave history. And we don't have any black boat tours. History tours on the boat. We came over here on the boat. And all Charleston does is talk about the beautiful, happy Charleston George Washington dance with 256 handsome ladies and the beautiful architect. Charleston does not want to talk about this truth. So what's coming next? The Triangle Slave Trade Tour. That's what's coming. Savannah, our sister city, as above, so below. The secrets and those sea islands, the Gullah Geechee Island, the true Gullah Geechee corridor. See, an island is not a state. Charleston will tell you that the Gullah Geechee corridor, the sea islands, is North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, parts of Mississippi. Wait a minute. That ain't no island. Them states, you know. Islands, if you want to know this real sea islands for the Gullah Geechee, God done told you where they at. The gateway verse is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. The mysteries and the secrets are ours to reveal. You understand? Everything about us is written and hidden in that Holy Bible. God spells. Gullah Geechee people, boy.
Boy. Wow. That's amazing. Wait, good.
Okay. Wow. Wow. I understand now.
There you go.
I definitely have to take.
There you go. I understand now.
Wow.
It's a slow process. And it happened to everybody. They made sure that we don't know our truth. See, there's many ways to kill a person, but in Charleston, the Gullah people, the way you kill you, Acts chapter 5, verse 30, Galatians chapter 3, verse 13, the way you kill us is to swing them on a tree, lynch them the same way they kill your king, Yeshi, Jesus Christ. They lynched him on a hanging tree. Acts chapter 5, verse 30. King James Version only. And then Galatians chapter 3:13. All of the secrets, you have to understand the truth about Gullah in order to really understand this Bible. Because when you take the scales off your eyes and you start to see, you know what happened. You never not see.
Never not see it again. Amen. Delano Young said we had a whole hour of this wonderful history. We had longer than an hour.
Yes, we did.
I think we were like 2-3 hours. We were.
That's right. I missed that. We missed the tour.
Yeah.
I missed the next one, but yeah, we did go over.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
You know, whenever Black and white people are together on a tour, a slave history tour, a real slave history tour, Black and white people together, that's when you're going to really feel one another. That's when healing happens. That's the only way healing is going to happen. We're going to have to come together and talk about this thing. And we all talk about it. We all want to know what happened. But we're all so sensitive and so afraid and nervous about getting our feelings hurt and hurting your feelings. But we're going to have to talk about this.
Wow. I want to say, Randy Massey, my mom, she said, is there a pamphlet about the tours? Roz White shared the website Gullah Tours, Gullah.tours. And it was online, and we will share it on our website as well. I'm pretty sure that Mom asked because she's starting to plan the family reunion. And you just get ready. That's all. Just get ready.
Reunions are, man, listen, our history, y'all. They never, ever intended us to know who we are. But God said, I'm doing this. I'm going to wake them up in that time. Oh, my God, the family reunions, we need to know our truth. Living off of lies all our life. No more. No more.
No more. I also want to say hello to Bonnie Henderson, Taft's godmother, watching from Oklahoma, Asher, Oklahoma. Welcome, Bonnie. Thank you for coming in. GullahGeecheeTours.com, and we will share it. Two things before we run out of time. You know, it's only an hour show, but this certainly means that you have to come back. We have to extend the courtesy. You went over an hour for your tour, so we're going to have you come back, and hopefully you will come back more than once. And as soon as you start the inaugural tour for the boat tour, count me in.
Absolutely.
I am in. And I agree with you. I want to go back. I agree with you. I don't believe in coincidence or luck or chance. I believe everything happens for a reason. And we may not know that reason, but I trust in God. So I know that He knows that reason. So
That's right.
Maybe there was a reason that Delano and I did not get to take the original tour that we wanted to take to Savannah. We went to go see dolphins instead. And, I enjoyed it. And we saw 4 or 5 dolphins, but then I was like, how do I know I didn't see the same dolphin 4 or 5 times? Then, because I am who I am, I was like, how do I even know that was a real dolphin? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So we had an experience that I wanted you to talk about and to share. I think that Minister Chris, you have a video. I think the beginning of the video is, it's got my face and Godfrey's face. But Godfrey, we were standing, it was the block. We were standing down at the port or at the harbor by the block. Can you tell us about the block and what that was?
Wow. You bringing it all out, huh?
I'm trying.
So the block.
I think that's just the picture this one is
yes.
Yeah, there.
Oh, yes. Wow. So the circle square on the 33rd parallel, this is the city. We all hear about the songs. that the slaves sang to the chariots, to the UFOs? Ezekiel chapter 3, chapter 2, sorry. But the slaves, when there was, singing it to UFOs and communicating back and forth. And whenever we would hear about, the slaves in Haiti, in Jamaica, and Colombia, communicating with drums, with chants, with prayers. We never looked into that. I mean, how did that work? Well, where we were, we experienced how it worked. Communicating from distances. You don't even see the people. You just feel the chi, the inner chi. We are the Gullah Geechee, the chi. Gullah is the blood, the kindred of God, of Christ. So at this space, on the 33rd parallel, where the energy is tuned up at the highest level, we did what was common for our ancestors.
It was amazing, something that I just don't know that you can put into words. And I hope that Owen doesn't mind me sharing that you gave everyone an opportunity to come and experience it.
Right.
You gave, yes, Minister Chris, we would. You gave him an opportunity, but so it was very emotional. It was very emotional. A person went before me, and then I went, because of course I was like, I don't want anybody to experience anything I'm not experiencing. I'm going.
You got it, and you got to feel it. It's hard to put words. You can't.
Yes, you have to feel it. But what was amazing was that Owen, this was the white couple that was with us. They were standing, we were socially distanced, so we did everything COVID approved. And he was emotional. And you said, my brother, would you like to come up and try? And I pray I don't forget this moment as long as I live. He said, I'm not worthy.
Worthy.
He said, I'm not worthy. And I just started crying.
Everybody, it was, yeah.
Yes. Just, one that he would feel that way, a way that that they've wanted to make us feel for years. And I feel like we, on behalf of the ancestors, we standing in their place, said, go. We gave him permission. We offered and opened up and shared an experience that we often experience regularly and people don't always understand.
Yes, it's what
went.
They always come for. Number one city in the whole world, they come for this experience. They can't get it. These tour guides, they have scripts that they memorize. They're not in it for the right reason. They're not sincere to the spirit of our Father, the blood that grows these hanging trees that we still glorify today. Oh man, the real energy. He walked up and didn't want to. I'm not worthy. Mm-hmm. All that he has done, really now.
Right.
Really now.
Right. It was amazing. Minister Chris, can you share a portion of that video?
I want to switch to another color when I want to go from the sweetgrass to the...
Okay, thank you, Minister Chris. So I, in the interest of time, I will share these on the page. And we didn't even get a chance yet to talk about getting off the bus and going to watch and to look at the sweetgrass baskets that were made, and to just experience the whole thing. You poured yourself out. You poured yourself out. One of the things that Taft and I were talking about is when you have a passion for something or a calling for something, do you feel like you chose this, or do you feel like this chose you?
This was before I was born. It was already written. My grandparents would always tell me about things that's just difficult to talk about, but I don't have any questions about my purpose. My father designed this from a long, long time ago.
Wow. Tina Washington said, I truly understand all of this in my spirit. Sandra from McCullough said, got to bring that brother back. Absolutely. And as we kind of wind down, share with us, what you're feeling. Share with us in any kind of way you'd like to.
Thank you. Thank you for being a mother that most us never. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We are, as we're winding down, sometimes you have to just let God do whatever it is that he's going to do. And I think that that's what happened in this tour that we went on, as I feel like that's what's happening now. This is, when you say just let go and let God, anyone that's interested in a true experience. And I don't even know if, how people come around and start saying, well, you need to change this and change that. It was more than just a tour. It was an experience. It was an experience. And so thank you. Thank you for pouring yourself out. Thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable during the tour. Thank you for answering the hundreds and hundreds of questions that we promised you we would ask. We promised you on the tour that we were going to ask a lot of questions.
That's right.
The person that I said would ask the questions did not disappoint. She did not disappoint. I want to share with everyone, the book is called Gullah Geechee, The Blood Route to Charleston, Slave Trade and Redemption. It's by Godfrey KhiLL, KhiLL spelled Khill. This is the book. It is also going to be on the page. Please read it on the website, on his website, on Gullah Geechee Tours.com, on Gullah Geechee Tours, and on GullahPages.com. You can find more information there, t-shirts. Let's not just support our brother, but let's support ourselves. Going on this tour, it really is not about just supporting, one of our own that's in business. It's about learning the truth. It's about learning the truth. I saw something today, and then I know, Minister Thomas, we gotta wrap up, but I saw something today. It says, always remember, until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter.
Hallelujah.
Until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And all of this is happening again, like you said, no coincidence, not by chance or anything else. I was working with someone today. The other thing it says that I just saw that I had written down in 2018. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that gets to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Nelson Mandela said that. And so as I was preparing for today, these little tidbits of things just kept dropping. And so, Godfrey, I want to thank you. Thank you for joining us today, but thank you for what you do. Thank you for being who you are. Tina Washington says, thank you so much, Godfrey. You are an inspiration. I will be coming on the tour and buying the book and spreading the knowledge. That is the executive director of the African American Cultural Center in Buffalo, New York. Bruce Johnson says, Godfrey always put his all in during his tour. That he did. Roz White says, thank you, The Voice 17104, best show ever. Woo, woo, thank you. Thank you so much, Godfrey. Thank you so much. We pray many blessings over you, journey mercies and safety and health. We saw, you pointed out the overseers and you pointed out different things on the tour. We saw, once you see it, you can never not see it. So now I'm here in Harrisburg looking at trees and looking at the rope around the door. I'm watching pineapples and all. I'm watching. And I still have my notes, so don't worry. We will be back. So please promise us that you'll come back on again. Okay. We'll be looking forward to it. We'll be looking forward to it. As we're winding down, and then we'll give Godfrey a chance to close us out. I feel like there should be like a benediction or something. For anyone watching, for those of you watching, please go online and check him out. Thank you for supporting us and for coming. Thank you to The Voice 17104, the best show in town. And if ever there's anyone, wherever you are, that has an idea that you want to share, that's how this came about. That is how this came about, and this is just how it works. No mistakes, no coincidence, no such thing as luck. It was for a reason, and so you will see Godfrey back on this show, but please come back to 17104 and check in. There's all sorts of different content and different shows on every day, all day. So please make sure that you come back. Godfrey, did you want to share anything before we turn it back over to Minister Chris Thomas?
Not in our time, but in God's time. In God's time, boy, Geechee is God's perfect timing. Hallelujah. Gullah Geechee, boy, we don't Gullah Geechee people, y'all. Thank y'all for the love. This right here, I was not expecting this. I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but thank all of y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Minister Chris Thomas, take us away.
This is Carmen Karen. You're listening to The Voice 17104.com, faith-based, community-driven streaming media.